Behold. Sacred Dragon Temper.
Dragon comes for you! It's over!
Hey. How's it going? You're vulnerable to this.
I'm tired of your bullshit. Shit.
Big bang boom. Near future is also hit or miss. I see some people saying they love it. It's very hit or miss. People either love it or hate it. And I'm one of the people who loves it. And Akira as a protagonist is one of the big reasons for that. But I also think the vibe and the atmosphere and the dialogue is like witty and fun. And really sets the tone well. But it's very hit or miss. I know there's people who hate it and there's people who love it. Akira's almost level 20. I want to get Akira level 20. I'm going to just assume that level 20 is the best level to be at. Although we have all the good equipment, so I'm kind of hoping we're fine for the final boss.
It's over!
Because as is tradition with like Square games, they make the super bosses harder than like the actual main story.
I'm tired of your bullshit.
So we're just going to assume that my levels are fine. I have all the good equipment. I'm sure equipment matters more.
Easy as hell.
And also, ultimate moves are learned at like 16.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure everyone is at least level 16. Cube isn't, obviously, because Cube doesn't level up. Yeah, Pogo's 17, so we should have all the ultimate moves, which means we're fine. Oh, I can't wait to see how this game ends. I can't wait to get my platinum trophy. Oh, I'm so excited. This game is fantastic. This ending's gonna be a big... This game is already in my top 10. This game, the ending's gonna be like a deciding factor, like where exactly I place it. This ending is like gonna solidify it. It already made the top 10, even if the ending somehow sucks. But I believe this game has not let me down in anything. So I believe in this game to keep what's it called? To keep pushing. Go, go, go. Archlad 2 had a final boss that was horrible? Yeah, but keep in mind that Archlad 2 is still like a masterpiece. I don't think it's a top 10 game for me, but it's absolutely a top 20 game. There are many games I like that have bad final bosses. Persona 3's final boss isn't very good. I think Persona 3 has a bad final boss. Really long if you lose to it. It's thematic, sure, but if you lose to Nyx, it's like, hey, have fun doing like 13 phases again, and the last one takes so long. There are many games with bad final bosses. As long as you like have other things that are great about it or not that bad, you really have to outweigh the positives and negatives. Archlad 2 has a bad final boss, sure, but it's got so many other good things. It's got some other little annoyances, but it's still one of the best PS1 games. It's also heavily underrated and a hidden gem, because it's not known about. I love the Archon's Roost design. It reminds me of the Maze of Tribulations in the Star Ocean series. Hey, Golden Top Knot. Hey, beat that, Lucretius, whatever that fish's name was. I got another one. What's up now? Not worth. Alright, it's not really worth equipping, but my point still stands. It's a journey, not the destination. Yeah, Yeah, I can agree with that. When I'm thinking of how much I love a game, I think about how I outweigh the positives and negatives. And depending on how high the highs are and how low the lows are, I come to a decision on how I like the game. This is not a chest, rip. I thought that would be. Starship 4's final boss is easy, but the cutscene after is 40 minutes long. Super long? Oh yeah, Starship 4 has a long final boss. I wouldn't say it's easy, but I also wouldn't say it's like very hard either. It is a long fight, it's a slog. Satin Nail takes forever in that game to fight. Granted, Star Ocean 4 is not a very good game. Burial down. This is terrible. You know what? The game is probably putting these equipments here as if I didn't do any of the secret bosses, but since I went to all the trials, the equipment probably sucks. Because I just have the best equipment. This is assuming that people just go to finish the game, which some people are going to do. Not everyone is going to... Alright, I'm going to kill you. I'm tired of running. Dragon comes.
Dragon comes for you!
Final boss can affect your opinion of the game a little bit. Yeah, but like I just said,
Over!
it's a whole thing of outweighing positives and negatives. If you have a bad final boss, you need to think about everything else you love about the game or hate about the game, and then it's like, oh yeah. I'm trying to think of an example. I need to think of an example where a final boss sucks, but the rest of the game isn't that great. Well, not even bad, but just not great. Arclight 2 is the opposite of what I want. Persona 3 as well, because I like Persona 3. Overall.
Who's a badass?
I need an example of a mid game or a bad game that has a bad final boss that I can use, but I can't think of one off the top of my head. We'll say Tales of Destiny. Tales of Destiny Director's Cut has a pretty bad final boss. I remember really hating the final boss in Tales of Destiny, and while I don't hate Tales of Destiny Director's Cut, it's very mid. It's an okay game. It's a decent Tales game. So like I think about it like, oh yeah, the story's nonsense in Destiny. The characters are like fine, but nothing special. And the combat is fun, but not like super fun. So that is my example.
Dragon comes for you! Right.
I'm tired of your bullshit. Easy as hell.
Sorry, I had to readjust my headset. What about P4's final boss? Persona 4 didn't have a bad final boss, did it? It was definitely not as bad as Persona 3. I think Persona 4's final boss was fine. It wasn't, like, great, but it wasn't, like, bad. Unless I'm remembering horribly wrong. Oh. Oh, the Odio statues. I love this room, dude. I love this idea. I love how they culminated all the stories together. It's so good. So good. I don't think Persona 4 had a bad final boss, though. Its final boss was fine. It wasn't, like, great, but I don't think it had a bad one. It definitely wasn't as bad as Persona 3's. It's not as long, for starters. And it doesn't have the annoying thing of, like, I think Persona 3, I forgot what the move was called, but Nyx would use a move that, like, caused random status ailments, and if that gets on your protagonist, causing you a game over, then that sucks. So, yeah, I mean... I don't think 4 had a bad final boss. Its final boss was fine. All things considered. And I love Persona 4, mostly because of the characters. Alright, so we go up here, turn back. I'm going back with what?
Come hither. Let us speak.
In conclusion to this final boss talk, a final boss can affect your opinion on the game. It really depends on what the game has going for it. You really, in my opinion at least, obviously everyone's different. In my opinion,
Your host.
yes, you're my host. In my opinion, it depends. It really depends. Like when the final boss sucks, you have to ask yourself, all right, what else does the game have that's?
Of Dark. The Archon. Odio.
I didn't know pressing L2 would confirm dialogue. Oh, I pressed auto. That's why. But yeah, you ask yourself what else the game has going for it, and depending on that, like, oh, it was like such a fun time for like 50 plus hours. Am I really gonna let like one final boss, which can last anywhere from?
Is folly. This you shall soon learn.
Am I really gonna let some final boss that takes like 30 minutes to an hour, depending, ruin my enjoyment of the entire game?
My domain,
So I mean, you know.
and I, its king.
But yeah, a final boss off a game that's not so good to begin with, sure, can ruin the game, but it's not going to ruin a game that was already great, because final bosses don't last too long, overall.
Out of time and out of place.
Oh, this is really cool.
Will lead you unto death.
It looks like we're seeing, like, all the timelines. It's a giant knight. But yeah, back to my Arc the Lad 2 example. That game was really great, so I didn't let the final boss, which lasted like anywhere from an hour to 2, 1 to 2 hours, affect like 50 to 70 hours of the entire game. So, you know. That's my take on that.
You're mine!
Persona 3 is a pretty long game. It's Persona. And the game was good. I enjoyed it. Its final boss sucked, but that makes up like, yeah, like someone in chat said, like about 1 to 2% of the entire game. So it didn't matter. In that case, I think a final boss wouldn't ruin Persona 3. It just meant the final boss sucked. So this thing has 500 HP.
Will not forget this.
Why'd the fish have the most HP and the most evasion? Like, what's with that? Yeah, I expected that. Ow. That's like a
Not
one-hit
good,
kill.
man. Not good.
Oh, you suck. Kira dying's not the worst thing in the world. You think Nyx will not suck in the remake?
this one.
I don't know. Hopefully not. I'm not gonna buy the remake day one though. I might buy it later, depending on how it's received, but, you know, I have a bunch of other stuff to play that I'm more interested in. Maybe I'll play Reload if it reviews well. Really, Pogo? You got like 7 hits. You missed 7 of those hits. Okay, stop. This thing is stupidly strong. It's lowering all of its stats, so if I can, like, get a hit, then it'll be fine. Yeah, it's like a glass cannon. This is the definition of a glass cannon. Like, quite literally a glass cannon. It takes a lot of damage because it's lowering its stats, but it hits hard. They're basically one-shots. Please die.
You're
I don't care who gets experience from this.
The old man taught me
This one's a miss. The other super bosses have all been very fun. This one's not. Yeah, that one was kind of just like super glass cannon. I never like glass cannon fights in games. That one's just like, hey, kill it fast or it's gonna like one-hit you. Not really a fan, personally.
That's the stuff.
Oh, we won. So now all that
Gonna put you to
remains
shame, old man.
is the final boss. And then we do Orsted's chapter. What's this? It's a pair of cosmic boots. So there's 5 cosmic equipment, but I have 4. That Lei is just training in the void. I love that. I guess someone gets an extra cosmic equipment because I have 4. Gonna lower my speed. That'll also lower my speed. I think Pogo needs speed the least word. Alright. Well, now we finish the game and see how the game ends. I'm very excited. And then we move on to Orsted's chapter. And we're only an hour and 50 minutes in stream, so... I'm all the way here, though. That sucks. That really sucks. Alright, it's not the worst thing in the world. But it does kind of blow. Oh, you know what? Actually, I think someone DM'd me on Discord warning me about this. But also, I think they said to, like, save the game, then reload so I wouldn't have to make my way back. But I wouldn't want to do that because I want to keep the experience from the boss fight. So that person did warn me. But even still, I wouldn't have loaded because then I would have lost the level up with Lei. So, yeah, that kind of sucks, not gonna lie. I mean, it's whatever. It's not a super far trip forward. It's not like a long way back, but it is kind of annoying. Yeah, we are gonna finish up this chapter, do Orsted's, and then that will be it for stream and all, because, you know, today might be a shorter one as a result, but, you know, not much of the game left. What are you gonna do? I do have plans, so, you know, if I'm gonna have a shorter stream, today's the perfect day for it. But yeah, someone did tell me, like, oh yeah, I'll send you back, but again, I don't want to reload my save. That just defeats the purpose. Like, sure, I did it for the trophy, but I didn't just do it for the trophy. I wanted to fight the super boss to fight the super boss, and I wouldn't have the cosmic boots if I reloaded. Alright, this place isn't too long to go through, at least. Again, this could have been much worse. Much, much worse. It's not bad. Oh, ReFantazio looks interesting. I might play that game. I'm still not sure. It's coming, like, late 2024, right? I'm considering playing that game. I mean, what am I looking forward to this year? Visions of Mana. Rebirth, obviously, but that's really close. The Suikoden remasters. That's, like, it, I think. That's about it. As of now, this year's gonna be about, like, getting a lot of games I want to do on the channel done, especially because it's a dead year, new release-wise, so it'll be about doing games I really want to get to. Good backlog catch-up.